And now from Philip Mullock, freelance writer, Lance Writer is innocent. Well, Philip is a gag writer who lives near Southampton, and anyone who has the nerve to put that on his letterhead is bound to sell gags. Here's one that he sold recently to Dick Emery, which comes from last Saturday's show.
Your blunderbuss, sir. I've loaded it for you.
Thank you. Now, what can I test it on? Oh, yes. It still works as well as it used to. Good show, sir.
Well, Philip Mullock, I don't think that would be really terribly funny without Dick Emery and all the business that he does with the blunderbuss and everything.
The other actor doing it on his own would be pretty bad.
What I'm trying to say is when you write a joke like that you're going to sell, do you write it for somebody like Dick Emery?
Yeah, certainly, although that particular quickie was originally written for an Australian show and it was done the rounds. I think Dave Allen had rejected it at one point. When it's written or rewritten, I do write it with the performer in mind.
I know that one of your jokes is a very old one that I've heard time and time again.
Most of my jokes are very old
about
ones.
What's wrapped in cellophane and swings from church towers, and the answer is Lunch Pack of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
A lot of jokes have a familiar ring about them. Are they original, or do you just sit like any schoolboy might be able to do and write a list of jokes and send them off?
Certainly the Lunch Pack of Notre Dame has a familiar ring about him. A lot of gags come from memory. When a TV producer asks me to write gags about a particular subject, it'll spur off memories of butlers, in that case, or whatever. But a lot of what I write and most of what I sell is fresh.
But what about money? What would you make, say, out of that Dick Emery joke?
Dick Emery, I think I got £17 for that one, which is the basic quickie fee. Then there'll be a repeat fee of 50%, perhaps overseas sales if the show sells to Swaziland.
Well, what about selling your gags? How do you go about doing that?
And that's the big problem. I mean, I can submit 100 jokes to the two Ronnies and they'll use only one. Normally they'll submit 300 and they'll use only one. It's easier overseas. There's less competition. I've sold a lot of jokes to Belgium, a show there called Prickle Pratches. And
which is a joke in itself.
There's a Swedish show called Pratt Meccano, which used some of my material, and Rudy Carell in Germany, Irish TV.
What's the worst joke you've ever told?
The worst joke ever, well, it's difficult to say. There's the one about the government's plans for a small shopkeeper, a lower counter.
Oh dear. I'm going to stop you there, Philip Mullock, before we get any more of your terrible jokes. One of them that did score a hit was one that we're going to show now, which is performed by Marty Kane.
One of the worst.
I'd like my palm read, please.
Now, I must advise you that my standard fee only includes 2 questions.
Oh? What's the standard fee, then?
£10. Now, what's your second question?